Alright, good morning everybody. My first day back working in the office. I've been working from home for over a month now. It was only supposed to be a little bit less than a month. So it's something different, a change of scenery, which I think will be good. Shinoi Mokum, Shinoi Mazel. And so I'm excited to go back to work. I have a message for with everything going on right now. And this message is more for me trying to encourage myself, and if it encourages other people, all the better. We have to know where the war is taking place. And the war is taking place in our minds, in our hearts, in our souls. This is not the time for violence, and it is the time to condemn violence that took place on both sides, and to recognize also that the violent extremists do not represent the vast majority of the people on either sides, but also it's a time to step away for a little bit and step inside of ourselves, because that is the way we're going to solve this. It's not that we're taking a vacation just to relax and blow off steam or whatever. No. This is where the real fight is. It's now the time that we call Shovavim. It's a time of repentance. It's a time of devotion to God. And we're dealing with what we could call the Milchemes HaYetzer, the war, the inner war, the war against the devil, meaning the devil inside ourselves, our inclinations to do that which is wrong. We're at war with ourselves, with our own minds, within our own selves. It's important to recognize that is the main battlefield. You hear a lot, Muslims talk about jihad, right? And people, to hear this word jihad is holy war, and they're very scared by this word. But if you study Islam, it's not that different from the other, and I'm only using this as a mashal, we only using this as a parable, because in Islam they speak of the great jihad and the small jihad. And obviously, if one is called the great jihad, the big one, that's the more important one, right? The small jihad in Islam is and I'm not saying this to promote one religion or the other, I'm just saying this is a good mashal, it's a good parable, and it's a similar idea that we have in all of our traditions. So it's worthwhile to recognize this. So the small jihad is the actual physical violence, right? And the big jihad is the one where it's inside of ourselves. It's our own internal struggles. And it's the same thing in our tradition. When it says, when it says in Deuteronomy, when you go out to war against your enemies, the greatest enemies, the Yetzer Hara, is the little devil on your shoulder. Colloquially speaking, is our own evil inclinations. And so too, I would imagine when Christians sing a hymn, march on, Christian soldiers marching out to war, or as to war, they're recognizing it's a spiritual war and not a material war. But the fact of the matter is, so much what's going on materially, it affects us spiritually and mentally. The Holy Baal Shem Tov said that wherever your thoughts are, that's where you are. I'll tell you one more Islamic teaching, even though again I'm not a Muslim, but it's something I heard from an imam when I was a rabbi in Virginia, that Muhammad was fighting with his enemy, and the enemy spit in his face. Once the enemy spit in his face, he got up and stopped fighting. because at that point it became personal, and he didn't want it to be personal. And I think that's the message that we have to recognize in all these things. That we, first and foremost, we're not supposed to make things personal, not personal attacks and not personal offenses. You know, I think there's a saying that stupid people talk about people and smarter people talk about ideas. But the other thing is with everything else going on, we're so easily distracted, we're so easily upset. I'm having a very difficult time, and I've been having a difficult time. And it's easy to get numb, and it's easy to get excited, and it's easy to get upended. And the trick is to try to balance everything, to find a clear mind, to be able to relax, and to be able to not give up hope, and to be able to find ourselves a life of devotion to God. Now, in my tradition, we have things like going to the mikveh, and we have reciting psalms, and we have all kinds of other things that we do to try to balance and feel ourselves. Music, dancing, as a religious devotion, as a means of meditation, what the Buddhists call mindfulness. It's very similar to what we have in our own traditions and all traditions. And that is the way that we win the war, because really, that's not only on a personal level, because the fact of the matter is, that is where the real battle is taking place, within our own souls, within our own minds, and we can affect the world around us in this manner. So that's why it's so important to take these things seriously, not just as a matter of personal religious devotion, but that our thoughts and prayers really do matter. And so that's the message that we have to embrace here, and that we can fix things through this. Thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment. We'll see you later.